Have you ever thought about how sexuality and behavior are connected in a complex way? There are a lot of interesting things to learn, from shocking facts about body size and sexual performance to how our intimate lives are shaped by culture. We'll talk about a lot of different aspects of human sexuality in this video, from how education can change sexual preferences to the dangers of going through menopause too soon. If you watch until the end, you'll learn important things and see things from different points of view that will help you understand sexuality better and give you the power to make smart decisions in your own life. Come with us on this journey of discovery as we try to figure out what sexuality is all about. We're going to talk about a lot of interesting facts today that will help us understand how people think, feel, and act in different situations. Come with us as we try to figure out what makes people act the way they do, from the subconscious urges that control our choices to the social dynamics that affect how we interact with others. We're going to explore the mysteries of human psychology and try to figure out what makes us do and react the way we do. Get ready to be interested, educated, and maybe even surprised. So take a seat, unwind, and let us take you on an interesting trip through the landscape of human behavior. Welcome on board. Haven't you ever thought about the interesting link between a person's size and how well they perform in bed? Scholars have become interested in the subject, and the results they've found are truly fascinating. An extensive study and analysis revealed that men with bigger bellies and a higher body mass index, BMI, tend to live significantly longer than their slimmer counterparts, with an average extra 73 minutes of life. People in the scientific community are very interested in this link between body size and lifespan, which has led to more research into the mechanisms at play. But what exactly explains this strange link between body size and life expectancy? Could it have something to do with hormones, metabolism, or even the way you live your life? These are the questions that researchers are working hard to answer as they try to figure out the complicated link between height and health. Please let me know before we start. You can help me keep spreading the Stoic philosophy if you like the video. I suggest that you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos if you aren't already. Kindly leave comment number 1 if you like this video's subject. If not, kindly leave comment number 0 so I can make a better video for you. Let's start now. With each discovery in the field of human physiology, it becomes clearer that many things affect how long people live and how well they stay healthy. Although the link between body size and sexual performance may seem strange at first, it serves as a reminder of how genetics, our environment, and the way we live our lives all affect our health and well-being in complex ways. So the next time you think about the link between body size and sexual prowess, keep this in mind. The answer may be more complicated than you thought at first. We can look forward to learning even more about the mysteries of human biology and behavior as researchers continue to look into this interesting subject. Many people may be surprised to learn that Germany is the world's biggest producer of sex toys, with an impressive 70% share of all shipments. This amazing number shows that Germany is the leader in an industry that meets the many needs and wants of people all over the world. But what are some of the reasons why Germany is so successful when it comes to making sex toys? The answer lies in a mix of new ideas for strategy, careful craftsmanship, and a culture that encourages sexual exploration and openness. German companies have a long history of engineering excellence and precision manufacturing. They have used this knowledge to make a wide range of high-quality, cutting-edge sex toys that suit everyone's tastes. Germany's sex toy industry makes a wide range of products meant to improve pleasure and intimacy, such as vibrators, dildos, bondage gear, and fetish accessories. Also, Germany's openness to sexuality has helped the sex toy industry grow by creating a culture where people feel free to explore their fantasies and desires. This willingness to be open-minded has not only increased demand in Germany, but has also made the country a world leader in making and selling sex toys. There are more and more sexual wellness products on the market around the world, and Germany is still the leader in this field. Germany is set to keep being the best place for sexual pleasure and satisfaction as long as it keeps coming up with new ideas, spends money on research and development, and cares about quality and customer satisfaction. Let your imagination run wild as we think about the possibilities of a revolutionary garment, a dress that changes from being modest to being see-through, reflecting the wearer's arousal. This cutting-edge invention is a big step forward in the area where fashion and technology meet. It challenges traditional clothing and changes how we think about and experience clothing. In addition to being a technical marvel, this dress that can change its shape has deep implications for human sexuality and intimacy. Showing the body's responses to sexual arousal visually helps partners connect deeper and more clearly so they can understand and respond to each other's wants in a way that has never been possible before. This kind of clothing might look like it was made for younger people, but it's appealing to people of all ages. People of all ages and walks of life can find happiness and satisfaction in the closer relationships that this innovative piece of clothing makes possible. This dress is a strong symbol of freedom and self-expression that encourages people to be confident and true to themselves in their sexuality, whether they wear it in the privacy of their bedroom or on a daring night out. As society continues to evolve and embrace new attitudes towards sex and intimacy, innovations like the arousal-responsive dress serve as a testament to our ever-expanding understanding of human desire and connection. So let us embrace this exciting future, where technology and passion intertwine to create a world where intimacy knows no bounds. Delve into the fascinating realm of human sexuality, where age proves to be no barrier to passion and intimacy. Recent studies have uncovered a remarkable trend. Nearly 1/3 of women aged 70 and above continue to engage in sexual activity with their partners. This phenomenon, often humorously dubbed late-life lovemaking, defies societal expectations and challenges stereotypes about aging and sexuality. But what lies behind this surprising statistic? It's a question that researchers are eager to explore as they delve into the intricacies of sexual health and well-being in older adults. Factors such as improved healthcare, longer life expectancies, and changing societal attitudes towards sex and aging all play a role in shaping the sexual experiences of older women. Moreover, the phenomenon of late-life lovemaking highlights the enduring importance of intimacy and connection throughout the lifespan. Far from diminishing with age, the desire for physical and emotional closeness remains a fundamental aspect of human existence, even as individuals enter their golden years. In addition to its societal implications, late-life lovemaking also carries profound personal significance for the individuals involved. For many older women, maintaining a satisfying and fulfilling sex life is not only a source of pleasure, but also a testament to their vitality and sense of self-worth. As we continue to gain a deeper understanding of sexuality across the lifespan, it's essential to recognize and celebrate the diversity of human experience. Late-life lovemaking serves as a powerful reminder that passion knows no age limits, and that the journey towards sexual fulfillment is a lifelong odyssey filled with possibility and exploration. The portrayal of intimate moments in the media has long been a subject of both fascination and controversy. From films to television shows, the depiction of sexuality has often sparked discussions about cultural norms and societal values. Stoicism encourages individuals to approach sex and beauty with moderation, self-discipline, and a focus on inner virtue rather than external desires. By practicing self-control and cultivating virtuous qualities, the Stoics believe that individuals can attain a deeper sense of fulfillment and contentment in their lives. One iconic moment in television history stands out: the groundbreaking depiction of Fred and Wilma Flintstone, beloved characters from the animated series The Flintstones, sharing a bed on primetime television. This landmark moment shattered conventions and challenged prevailing taboos surrounding portrayals of intimacy on screen. The decision to show Fred and Wilma in bed together was a bold one, reflecting the evolving attitudes towards sexuality and relationships in the latter half of the 20th century. By portraying a married couple engaging in intimate moments, the creators of the Flintstones helped to normalize discussions about sex and intimacy within the context of family-oriented programming. But beyond its cultural significance, the depiction of Fred and Wilma in bed together also speaks to the enduring appeal of the show's themes of love, companionship, and domestic life. Despite being animated characters living in a prehistoric world, Fred and Wilma's relationship resonated with audiences of all ages, offering a timeless portrayal of the joys and challenges of married life. As television continues to evolve and push the boundaries of what is considered acceptable for primetime viewing, the legacy of Fred and Wilma Flintstone's bedtime escapades serves as a reminder of the power of media to shape our perceptions of love, intimacy, and human connection. And while the world may have changed since their debut, their enduring presence in popular culture continues to inspire and entertain audiences around the globe. Let's delve deeper into the fascinating world of human behavior and explore an intriguing phenomenon: the correlation between women who are avid readers of romance novels and their frequency of engaging in sexual activity. Studies have revealed a remarkable trend. Women who are passionate about romance literature tend to participate in sexual intercourse twice as often as those who do not indulge in such reading material. But what accounts for this surprising connection? The answer lies in the intricate interplay between psychology, physiology, and cultural influences. One theory suggests that the constant immersion in romantic narratives triggers a heightened release of hormones in the body, such as oxytocin and dopamine, which are associated with feelings of love, desire, and arousal. Furthermore, the emotional escapism provided by romance novels may serve as a form of sexual stimulation in itself, igniting fantasies and desires that spill over into real-life sexual encounters. The vivid imagery, intense emotions, and steamy encounters depicted in these novels can fuel a woman's libido and enhance her enjoyment of intimate moments with her partner. Moreover, the connection between romance novel consumption and sexual activity speaks to the powerful role that fantasy and imagination play in shaping our sexual experiences. For many women, the world of romance literature offers a safe and empowering space to explore their desires and fantasies, which can ultimately translate into a more fulfilling and satisfying sex life. Researchers are still trying to figure out how complex human sexuality is. The link between romance novels and sexual activity is an interesting example of how literature, psychology, and biology all affect our close relationships. One thing is for sure, stories have an unlimited ability to stir up and hold the attention of people. The exact mechanisms at work may still be the subject of ongoing research and debate. Let's take a moment to talk about safety, which is an important part of sexual health. It's important to know how long latex condoms last because they can lose their effectiveness over time. Interestingly, latex condoms only last about 2 years on average before they need to be thrown away. Why do you need to know this? You could hurt your health if you use condoms that have passed their expiration date. Latex condoms may break down over time, making them more likely to fail while being used. Putting you and your partner at risk of health problems is not only less effective at stopping sexually transmitted infections, STIs, and unintended pregnancies, but it also works less well. So it's important to check the condom packaging's expiration date before using it and get rid of any condoms that have passed their expiration date. It might be tempting to keep condoms for longer, especially if they look like they're in good shape. But when it comes to your sexual health, it's always better to be safe than sorry. Additionally, keeping condoms in the right way can help them last longer and keep working well. Keep them somewhere cool and dry, out of direct sunlight and away from extreme temperatures. Also, don't put them in your wallet or pocket where they could get scratched or squished. You can make sure that your sexual encounters are not only enjoyable, but also safe and secure by knowing when condoms expire and storing them properly. Do not forget that it is always better to be proactive and careful when it comes to sexual health than to take risks that are not necessary. Stoicism tells people to be moderate about sex and beauty, to be self-disciplined, and to focus on their inner virtues instead of their wants. Some people, called Stoics, believe that people can find more happiness and fulfillment in their lives by controlling themselves and developing good traits. When we talk about health, there is an interesting and somewhat surprising link that has been found by scientists between men having heart attacks while they are sexually active and cheating on their partners. This interesting link shows how closely physical health, emotional health, and close relationships are all connected. Researchers have found that men who have affairs or are unfaithful to their partners may be more likely to have a heart attack during sexual activity than men who are faithful to their partners. But why is this strange connection happening? A possible reason could be the physical and mental stresses that come with cheating. Cheating can cause a lot of guilt, anxiety, and emotional turmoil, which can cause stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol to rise. This puts more stress on the cardiovascular system. Also, because cheating is usually done behind the partner's back, there may not be enough communication and support between them, which can make the cheating person feel even more stressed and tense. For people who are prone to heart attacks, this mix of emotional turmoil and physical exertion during sexual activity can be like a perfect storm. But it's important to keep in mind that the link between cheating and heart attacks during sex is complicated and has many parts. Not all cases of cheating lead to bad health outcomes, and not all heart attacks during sexual activity are directly caused by cheating. That being said, this interesting link shows how important it is to take care of both the physical and emotional parts of sexual health in close relationships. By encouraging open communication, trust, and mutual respect between partners, people can lower their risk of cheating and the health problems that come with it. This will ultimately improve their overall health and happiness in their relationship. As we continue to learn more about sexuality and health, it's important to approach these complicated topics with understanding, compassion, and dedication to creating healthy, happy relationships for everyone involved. Now let's change the subject and talk about some less serious but still very important issues related to health and well-being. Finding out that some indulgences like chocolate, sex, and laughter are not only fun things to do but also necessary for brain health is very interesting. Many people have long believed that chocolate can improve your mood. This is because it contains many compounds, such as flavonoids and phenylethylamine, that can make you feel happy and calm. A small amount of dark chocolate a day may also help your brain work better and lower your risk of cognitive decline that comes with getting older, according to studies. In the same way, sexual activity has been shown to have many positive effects on brain health. In addition to the pleasure it gives right away, sex causes neurotransmitters like endorphins, dopamine, and oxytocin to be released. These chemicals help with pleasure, bonding, and overall health. Sexual activity regularly has also been linked to better brain function, better mood, and less stress. Also, don't forget how powerful laughter is. Studies have shown that laughing deeply has positive effects on both mental and physical health. This is true whether you're telling jokes with friends or watching a funny comedy show. Laughter makes our bodies release endorphins, which are natural painkillers, and serotonin, which is a neurotransmitter that makes us feel good and calm. Laughter has also been linked to stronger immune systems, less stress, and better social connections, all of which are good for brain health and well-being overall. Even though there are many good things about having sex, it's important to remember that some parts of it can be awkward or difficult. Dealing with the difficulties of intimacy can sometimes come with unexpected problems, such as performance anxiety or trouble communicating. Still, it's these quirks and difficulties that make the journey of sexual exploration and discovery more interesting and worthwhile. Even though chocolate, sex, and laughter may seem like fun things to do, they are very important for your brain health and overall health. We can live a full and satisfying life that is good for both our bodies and minds if we enjoy the little things in life and approach the weird parts of human sexuality with curiosity and an open mind. Let's dive into the fascinating world of human sexuality and look at some interesting events that show how sexual health and behavior can be very different and sometimes surprising. For example, phallophobia is a disorder in which people are afraid of getting an erection for no good reason. Phallophobia can happen to people of all genders, including women and men, which may seem strange. This fear could come from several sources, such as traumatic events in the past, cultural taboos about sexuality, or deep-seated worries about being close and vulnerable. To understand and treat phallophobia, you need to take a caring, all-around approach that includes therapy, education, and honest talk about your sexual health and well-being. At the same time, we find many surprises in the animal kingdom that make us question what we thought we knew about sexuality and anatomy. For example, the barnacle is a sea creature that doesn't seem like much. Barnacles are very small, but they have an amazing trait. Their penis can be up to 50 times longer than their body length. This makes them the animal with the largest penis-to-body ratio. This amazing adaptation is very important for evolution because it lets barnacles reproduce in their watery environment. Barnacles can reach and fertilize nearby mates with their long penises, which ensures the survival of their species. Nature's reproduction strategies are very different and complicated, as this amazing example of sexual adaptation shows. Stoicism tells people to be moderate about sex and beauty, to be self-disciplined, and to focus on their inner virtues instead of their wants. Some people, called Stoics, believe that people can find more happiness and fulfillment in their lives by controlling themselves and developing good traits. It's interesting to think about how these examples show the wide range of human sexuality and the many ways it interacts with nature. From the subtleties of phallophobia to the amazing ways that barnacles have changed over time, each phenomenon shows us something new about the complex web of life and the endless ways we can learn and explore it. By being interested, caring, and open-minded, we can keep solving the mysteries of human sexuality and enjoy the beauty and variety of all living things. Looking into the complexities of human sexuality reveals an interesting part of our deepest desires and fantasies. An important theme that keeps coming up is the idea of dominance and submission, which has a big impact on sexual fantasies and experiences. Studies have shown that a big chunk of women, about 60%, say they openly fantasize about being dominant and enjoy it when they're sexually aroused. This new information shows how varied and complicated human sexuality is. It also challenges common ideas about gender roles and power dynamics in the bedroom. But what exactly makes people want to be in charge? Many people find it exciting to give up control or take it back over their partner, which creates an atmosphere of excitement, arousal, and exploration. Furthermore, dominance fantasies can be a way to escape the restrictions of everyday life, giving people a safe and agreeable space to explore their wants and fantasies. Also, the fact that dominance fantasies are so common shows how fluid and variable human sexuality is, showing that people can have very different wants and needs. Some people feel good when they're in charge, while others feel good when they give in to their partner's wants. This shows how important communication and understanding are for building healthy and satisfying sexual relationships. As society continues to change and accept more diverse and open views on sexuality, it's important to recognize and respect the many ways people express and explore their desires. We can make a culture of acceptance and empowerment that celebrates the rich tapestry of human sexuality in all its forms by accepting the complexity of dominance fantasies with understanding, empathy, and an open mind. When talking about the ins and outs of sexual health and pleasure, it's important to stress how important preparation is and how it affects the whole experience. Diet has an interesting effect on body fluids and how they taste and smell during intimacy, but this is something that is often overlooked when getting ready. Take the reported health benefits of eating pineapple before getting sexually active as an example. People believe that pineapple, which has a naturally sweet and refreshing taste, can make the taste and smell of semen better. Because of this surprising discovery, a lot of people add pineapple to their pre-intimacy routines in the hopes that it will make the experience better for both them and their partners. People say that pineapple can change the taste of sperm because it has a lot of enzymes like bromelain that may help break down proteins and sugars in the body, making the taste sweeter and more enjoyable. During intimacy, the cooling and moisturizing effects of pineapple may also make the experience better overall. On the other hand, it's important to be aware of the possible downsides of some food choices, especially those that involve drinking alcohol. While alcohol may make you feel calm and relaxed at first, drinking too much of it can hurt your sexual performance and bodily fluids. Studies have shown that drinking alcohol can change the smell and taste of bodily fluids, like semen, making them taste less desirable and more acidic. Also, drinking too much alcohol can make it harder to think, lower your libido, and make it impossible to get an erection, all of which lower the overall quality of the intimate experience. Based on these results, it's clear that what you eat can have a big effect on your sexual health and pleasure. It is possible to improve the sensory experience of intimacy and improve overall health and satisfaction for both individuals and their partners by eating more hydrating and nutritious foods like pineapple and drinking less alcohol. Let's talk more about the interesting subject of shower sex and what it means for intimacy and sexual pleasure. Everyone might be interested in the idea of shower sex, but it's important to be aware of the problems that could happen if you do it. Stoicism tells people to be moderate about sex and beauty, to be self-disciplined, and to focus on their inner virtues instead of their wants. Some people, called Stoics, believe that people can find more happiness and fulfillment in their lives by controlling themselves and developing good traits. Lubrication is an important thing to think about. That's because the water and soap in showers can remove natural lubrication, which can make penetration painful or uncomfortable. If you don't use enough lubrication, friction can get worse, which could irritate or hurt sensitive genital tissues. Even though the shower is steamy, many people find that shower sex isn't as good as they'd like it to be because they aren't using enough lubricant. Also, it's interesting to know that researchers have seen male and female rats sexually active at surprising levels. These results challenge what people think they know about sexuality in the animal kingdom and show how complicated sexual behavior is across species. In studies of rats, researchers have found evidence of sexual behavior happening in a range of settings, such as laboratories and natural environments. Researchers have seen male rats persistently trying to mate even when there are no receptive females around. In the same way, female rats have been seen actively participating in sexual encounters, showing that they have some control over their mating choices. These observations show that sexual behavior is complex and varied, both in humans and in other species. They show how important it is to understand the underlying causes of sexual behavior, such as hormones, the environment, and how people interact with each other. Through studying sexual behavior in animal models like rats, researchers can learn a lot about how and why people are sexual. These results not only help us understand basic biological processes, but also help doctors figure out how to help people who are having problems with their sexual health or reproductive health. There may be something appealing about shower sex, but it's important to think about things like lubrication to make sure you have a comfortable and enjoyable time. Also, the interesting things we've seen about rats' sexual behavior make us think about how different species express their sexuality and how hard it is to understand human sexuality. However, it's important to remember that not all sexual encounters go smoothly, even though they are private and enjoyable. Sometimes people may have problems or issues that they didn't expect during sex, which can be uncomfortable or upsetting. One of these things that has been written about in medical journals is called penis captivus. Penis captivus is a rare condition in which the muscles in the walls of the vagina contract on their own during sexual activity, trapping the penis inside the vagina for a short time. This phenomenon can happen quickly and out of the blue, making both partners feel scared or panicked. Even though no one knows for sure what causes penis captivus, it is thought to have something to do with the pelvic floor muscles contracting or spasming without the person meaning to. These can happen when the person is very aroused or tense. During these spasms, the vaginal canal may temporarily get smaller, which can trap the penis inside. Even though penis captivus doesn't happen very often, it can be very scary for people who do. In some cases, a doctor may need to help to safely separate the penis from the vagina. But it's important to stay calm and talk to your partner honestly about what's going on to avoid stress and ensure the best outcome. It's important to remember that human sexuality is complicated and can change at any time. A lot of the time, sexual encounters are portrayed as easy and smooth, but in reality, they can be fraught with physical and emotional problems. By being aware of and understanding the possible risks and problems that come with having sex, people can approach intimacy with awareness, compassion, and readiness. Talking about these kinds of things in public can also help reduce the shame and stigma that surround sexual issues and encourage people to get help and support when they need it. In the end, we can help everyone have healthier, more satisfying sexual experiences by promoting a culture of understanding and acceptance. When culture and sexuality meet, they create a rich and complicated area that affects not only people's thoughts and actions, but also social norms and practices as a whole. Throughout history, how people in different cultures see sex has had a big impact on how people feel about intimacy, reproduction, and family relationships. Stoicism tells people to be moderate about sex and beauty, to be self-disciplined, and to focus on their inner virtues instead of their wants. Some people, called Stoics, believe that people can find more happiness and fulfillment in their lives by controlling themselves and developing good traits. The advice that midwives used to give to women who were pregnant is an interesting example of how cultural beliefs have affected sexual behavior. It was common for midwives to tell pregnant women to keep having sexual relations until late in the pregnancy because they thought it would make the babies healthier. This advice came from cultural beliefs that sexual activity is good for both the mother's and the baby's health. An important and natural part of life in many cultures, sex was thought to have healing effects on the body and mind. People used to think that having sexual relations while pregnant could make the uterus contract, help the cervix open, and even make the birthing process easier and faster. Additionally, some cultural traditions believe that sexual activity could strengthen the bond between partners, improve emotional health, and ease the physical pains of pregnancy. Because of this, midwives often told couples who were expecting to keep up a healthy sex life while they were pregnant. Today, these beliefs may seem old-fashioned or out of date, but they show how cultural ideas about sex have changed over time in really interesting ways. Now that medicine and technology have come a long way, the advice given to pregnant women about sexual activity can be very different, depending on their specific situation and medical needs. Still, the historical importance of cultural beliefs about having sex while pregnant shows how cultural norms can have a lasting effect on sexual behaviors and beliefs. It helps to know where these beliefs came from in history to fully understand how complicated human sexuality is and how different cultural factors can affect it. It's becoming clearer that a woman's level of education can have a big effect on her sexual preferences and behaviors in the modern world of sexuality. As societies change and educational opportunities grow, people with more education have better access to information, resources, and chances to learn more about themselves. Even when it comes to sexuality and intimacy, women who are getting advanced degrees often find themselves in settings that help them think critically, become more self-aware, and explore their values and goals. Because of this, they may feel more in control of their sexual lives and feel confident enough to explore and talk about their preferences. Going to college can also expose women to a wide range of ideas, experiences, and cultural influences, which can help them gain a deeper understanding of sexuality and intimacy. Women can learn about the complicated nature of human sexuality through their classes, discussions, and interactions with peers and mentors. These activities can help them understand the many things that affect people's sexual desires and actions. Because of this, women with advanced degrees may develop preferences for certain sexual activities based on their own experiences, values, and wants. Many things can affect these preferences, such as personal experiences, cultural norms, and societal expectations. For instance, women who have had sex education as part of their schooling may know more about sexual health and pleasure, which may make them more likely to prioritize activities that are good for their physical and mental health. Higher education can also give women a sense of independence and self-confidence, which can help them stand up for their own needs and wants in sexual relationships. For some, this means being honest with their partners, setting limits, and looking for experiences that fit their values and preferences. Overall, the fact that education affects women's sexual preferences shows how personal growth, socialization, and cultural context are all linked. Realizing and understanding how education affects sexual beliefs and actions is the first step toward making spaces that are more open, knowledgeable, and supportive for everyone to explore and express their sexuality genuinely. In the history of recorded human behavior, there is an amazing record that has both amazed and interested people. The person who had the most sexual contact with different partners in a single day. An amazing 9,919 sexual encounters happened in just 24 hours, showing how diverse and complicated human sexuality is. This record may be fascinating, but it's also a sobering reminder of the risks and bad things that can happen when you're sexual. Even though these amazing achievements are exciting, they are also sad reminders of the weaknesses and risks that come with sexual behavior that are not restrained. Stoicism tells people to be moderate about sex and beauty, to be self-disciplined, and to focus on their inner virtues instead of their wants. Some people, called Stoics, believe that people can find more happiness and fulfillment in their lives by controlling themselves and developing good traits. One of the biggest worries is the chance of getting sexually transmitted infections, STIs, or other diseases that can be passed from person to person. By having a lot of sexual encounters in a short amount of time, you greatly increase your chances of getting STIs like HIV/AIDS, gonorrhea, chlamydia, and syphilis. Without the right gear and safety measures, people who do these things may unintentionally put themselves and their partners at risk of getting these infections, which can be very bad for your health if they are not treated. It's also important not to forget about the emotional and mental effects of having multiple sexual encounters in a short amount of time. People who are focused on quantity over quality may feel empty, unhappy, or even regretful afterward. Additionally, using sex for records or accomplishments can make people seem less human and make sexual relationships seem less intimate and personal. People who engage in promiscuity and casual sex may also feel more shame, guilt, and social isolation because of the negative views and judgments held by society regarding these behaviors. This social stigma might make people less likely to get the medical care, support, or counseling they need, which would make the risks of their behavior even worse. Because of these worries, it's important to talk about sexual activity with understanding, nuance, and dedication to encouraging smart choices and strategies that lessen harm. We can give people the power to make safer, healthier choices that respect their autonomy and well-being by emphasizing comprehensive sex education, access to sexual health resources, and removing the shame from talking about sexuality. Women reach a major milestone in their lives when they reach menopause, whether it happens naturally or because of medical treatment. This is because it means they can no longer have children and their bodies and hormones start to change in a new way. But early menopause can have a lot of negative effects on health in general, including a higher risk of heart disease. It can also affect fertility and reproductive health. Recent studies suggest that women who go through early menopause, when they stop having periods before they turn 45, may be more likely to develop heart disease, stroke, and high blood pressure. It is thought that this higher risk is connected to changes in estrogen levels and other hormones that happen during menopause, which can be bad for heart health. The ovaries are the main organs that make estrogen. Estrogen is a hormone that controls many bodily functions, such as blood vessel function, cholesterol metabolism, and inflammation. As women go through menopause and their estrogen levels drop, estrogen's protective effects on the cardiovascular system weaken. This could make women more likely to get cardiovascular diseases. Early menopause may also be linked to other conditions that put you at risk for heart disease, like metabolic syndrome and obesity, and bad habits like smoking, eating poorly, and not being active. These added factors can make the risk of heart disease even higher for women who are going through early menopause. When women go through early menopause, it affects their sexual health in more ways than one. Mood swings, hot flashes, and a lower libido are just a few of the emotional and mental effects of menopause that can have a big effect on a woman's quality of life and sexual satisfaction. Getting rid of the heart risks that come with early menopause needs a multifaceted approach that puts preventative and complete healthcare first. This could include regular heart screenings, making changes to your lifestyle to encourage heart-healthy habits like regular exercise, a balanced diet, learning how to deal with stress, and giving up smoking and drinking too much alcohol. Additionally, encouraging open communication between healthcare professionals and women going through menopause can help find cardiovascular risk factors early and act quickly to prevent health problems. Healthcare professionals can help women stay healthy and sexually active during and after menopause by including checks on cardiovascular health as part of regular menopause care. The study of human sexuality includes a huge and complicated web of feelings, wants, and actions that continue to interest and amaze us. The world of sexuality is both complex and changing all the time. There are many sexual orientations and identities, and there are many ways to feel close to someone and enjoy yourself. We must be curious, open, and responsible as we move through this complex landscape. Sexuality can bring a lot of happiness, connection, and self-discovery, but it also comes with risks and weaknesses that need to be dealt with carefully and mindfully. Recognizing that sexuality is very personal and subjective is a key part of how we understand it. Biology, culture, upbringing, and personal experiences are just some of the things that shape each person's sexual journey. Because of this, there is no one right way to think about sexuality, and it is important to recognize and respect the wide range of opinions and choices that exist in our communities. But we should also approach sexuality with a sense of duty and moral thought. This means respecting the autonomy, agency, and boundaries of everyone involved in a sexual encounter, and making sure that consent is freely given, enthusiastic, and ongoing. Putting our and our partner's health first is also very important. We can do this by having safe sex, going to the doctor regularly, and learning about sexual health issues. This includes working to stop and treat sexually transmitted infections, STIs, make sure people can get birth control and reproductive health care, and encourage healthy sexual and relationship attitudes. Also, encouraging open and honest conversations about sexuality is very important for making spaces safe and welcoming for sexual expression and exploration. We can make spaces where people feel free to be fully gay or lesbian without fear of being judged by encouraging dialogue, sharing experiences, and fighting stigma and misunderstandings. In the end, we can create fulfilling and enriching experiences that respect the variety and complexity of human desire and intimacy if we approach it with interest and responsibility. As long as we educate, show empathy, respect, and consent to each other, we can make the world a place where everyone can explore and express their sexuality in safe, positive, and empowering ways. Thank you for joining us as we look into the many aspects of human sexuality. We've talked about a lot of different things, from how education affects sexual preferences to the dangers of going through menopause early, and how important it is to treat sexuality with respect, curiosity, and responsibility. Let's hear from you now. What have you learned from the talk today? Is there a certain thought or insight that stuck with you? Feel free to write your thoughts and feelings in the space below this video. As we wrap up, we want you to choose one thing you've learned and make a promise to use it in your own life. It doesn't matter how small the change is. It can make a difference if we put sexual health first, encourage open communication in relationships, or fight sexuality, ignorance, and stigma. If you learned something from this video and it made you think, please leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. With your help, we can keep making content that teaches, inspires, and starts important conversations. Once more, thank you for being a part of this journey. To learn more about human sexuality and what it means to live a full and honest life, let's keep exploring, learning, and growing.